Topic: Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Mahatma Gandhi. There is a famous quote, "Pen is mightier than sword." This wonderful quote drives us to think that how could it be possible? If we think about a fight between two persons, one wielding sword and other wielding pen, who could possibly win? Our obvious answer will be the person wielding sword. But still, the above quote holds its significance because it's not a time-bound quote specific to a certain condition. It holds considerable value in its true essence, as it is comparing free thoughts and brute force and suggesting that thoughts and values have prevailed much more than strength. It was the knowledge, never to die spirit. Humanity kept pushing and learning, which culminated in modern society. Humanity was neither the strongest nor the largest, but it has proved to be the fittest race to survive, dominate, and withhold the Mother Earth. Our history is filled with great achievers who showed enormous willpower to achieve their dream. Rajaram Mohan Roy, who reformed irradiatory sati system from India, was opposed even by his own mother, who took part in a procession against him. How could Ram Mohan survive the wrath of his own mother who gave birth to him? It would have certainly taken a lot of courage and willpower to speak against the wrong practices and to oppose it firmly. Famous revolutionaries of Indian independence movement, Bhagat Singh and Battukeshwar Dutt, threw bombs in Central Legislative Assembly and gave self-rest after that as planned. They could have fled easily, but they chose not to do so, and face a trial during which they could present their case to the whole world. The courage and willpower shown by them in doing so could make anyone wonder which is sharper, willpower or gunpowder. Thomas Alva Edison tried to make bulb and he failed more than 1,000 times before he succeeded. Someone asked him, "That weren't you tired or demotivated during such tiresome process?" He replied, "No, my friend. During those 1,000 failures I learned 1,000 ways of how not to make an electric bulb." Such positivist approach and willpower made him succeed and produce more than 1,000 patents in his name. Then we have examples of famous scientist equals Stephen Hawking and famous musician equals Mozart. Both of them were physically disabled, but they produced some of the finest discoveries in science and music which we know. Abraham Lincoln, who became president of America, failed in business, lost all his property in trials in court, lost his wife, had nervous breakdown, lost election to senator post, speaker post, vice president post, before finally being selected directly for president. He abolished slavery, led America united, and strengthened government in its history's bloodiest civil war, and is regarded as one of the greatest presidents of America. Had he given up during any stage of his life, or lost hope, then the world would have lost a great leader and reformer. We have our history filled with examples of such valor and courage, where willpower alone made impossible things possible. It was the equals never give up spirit which made them successful. During Battle of Longkula, in 1971, Pakistan launched the huge offensive mission against India, in which more than 60 tanks and 3,000 infantry participated. But they were held back by a group of 100 Indian soldiers who fought with them until reinforcements arrived and gained one of the biggest victories the world has ever seen. If those soldiers would have fled, seeing the numerical superiority of Pakistan and strength of their weapons, then India would have been in a big trouble. They showed that willpower can make your strength grow numerous times. Napoleon said that there is no word impossible in my dictionary. Even impossible says that I'm possible. U.S.A. invaded Vietnam, and was defeated there after fighting for more than a decade. Vietnam was nothing in compared to USA in terms of weapons and strength, but still they had the courage to face the enemy and never to give up. So, all these examples clearly show that we should never give up. It's not the physical strength that matters in most of the cases. It's the willpower and the ability to keep up the sustainability. It's the ability to survive for longer duration and to keep going even when you are not the smartest, strongest, or fastest. Tortoise and rabbit story is common, in which tortoise won the race just because he had consistency. Since we know that willpower is an essential component of success and it is stronger than physical strength, then question arises why we see so many failures in society. Why people are not able to follow the righteous path. The answer lies in the lives of great people such as Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus Christ, Lord Buddha, and many other great peoples. Mahatma Gandhi advocated nonviolence. He told that nonviolence is not easy to follow. Human nature is very intimidating to the path of violence, and taking nonviolent path against a violent oppressor won't seem right to many. But still, it's the right method, as violence has time and again proved that it's not a permanent solution for any conflict. The strength lies in forgiveness rather than punishment. Nonviolence doesn't mean that the person adhering to such path is weak or he can't fight. But following this path means that you are giving conformity to your inherent strength and willpower, as it requires much more strength to be nonviolent even when you have more strength and numbers. Jesus Christ was crucified, but still he forgave all those who were against him. Lord Buddha announced his entire kingdom in order to gain true knowledge and deliver it to humans. Prophet Muhammad, when gained power, then he forgave all those who once chased him to death. They showed that willpower is also a form of strength, just that it's mental strength which is much greater, wider and powerful than the physical strength that most people are proud of. We could wonder that the above quote of Gandhiji has proved itself from time to time in history. But how much is it relevant in the present context of the world? But we could also wonder how much it holds true in today's advanced modern world. Today, entire cities can be wiped out of face of Earth by just dropping a nuclear bomb. Today, persons sighting miles apart can rob a bank, disrupt electricity supply, or crash into national defense system of a country just by using certain computer codes. Today, havoc such as terrorism, global climate change, difference between rich and poor, and growth of unrest like Arab Spring and incurable diseases like AIDS and cancer have changed the face of the world, and gave definition to the order of force where the mighty and powerful will rule the world. We know that we need to act on these problems timely. But what's the solution? Most countries are afraid to talk about climate change, as if they press hard towards climate concerns, then their economies may get affected and they could lose the dominant strength they possess today. So, what will happen of us when we will be hit hard by worsening climate? Well, the solution lies in the indomitable will of humans to survive and sustain themselves. They know that they have to take hard decisions, otherwise humanity will perish. Global climate talks are the step in right direction. Earth Summit, Kyoto Protocol, the MARPOL, marine pollution and many other regulations have come into force to fight climate change. As the destruction from climate change will increase, so will proportionally increase the willpower of humans to fight back and get the things under control before it's too late. Until then, they will be in a blur that strength is mightier, but sooner or later they will have to take the tougher stand. We have similarly been fighting the medical problems and constantly have been improving. Life expectancy has reached a new height in India and rest of the world. World population has proliferated a lot. Arab Spring and many other movements keep on happening in modern societies, but they also bring with them the charm of modern democratic institutions and popular governments which could work for different sections in tandem to their willpower to rule themselves. Internet, social media, blogs are the new instruments where people fearlessly and independently communicate. Such mediums have given strength to normal people, who thinks itself more powerful with the will to change the world through such modern instruments. Acts such as the right to information have unearthed many irregularities and corruptions. They have empowered people. Rule of law in India is another testament of willpower, which states equality of law and equal treatment of law for all citizens of India. Our Constitution empowers every citizen freedom of religion, thought, expression, faith, protest. These values are not based on strength of any monarch or army, but they are based on collective willpower of the citizens of this great country. Thus, willpower has proved to be more varied, omnipotent, and universal holder of power in comparison to physical strength. It has many examples in past and present time, where great people have performed unbelievable feats. The statement by Gandhiji also holds true in solving the various problems that world is facing today. Here the famous 1980s movie dialogue holds true. In that scene, a father says to his son that the world is not a fancy place. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and cruel place which will hit you hard and keep you to your knees if you'll let it. But it's not about how hard you get hit, it's more about how hard you get hit and keep moving. how much you can't take and still keep moving forward. So, just go outside and take risks, and keep moving no matter what. Stop blaming others, and giving excuses that you are not successful because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that isn't you. You are better than that. So, we have to keep moving forward and triumph our journey of life through our indomitable will. Physical strength will be indeed needed to achieve our target, but it will be our willpower and never to give up spirit that will make sure that we are able to make the world a better place before we die.